Welcome everybody to this week's edition of the Railsplitter Athletics Report. We are into the month of October. Hard to believe, folks, but you know, for the LMU fall teams, they have limited time now in terms of their season. They're in the backstretch almost. For the men's soccer team, only 3 remaining home matches. For the women, I think they've got 4. Volleyball team is about to make the turn on the halfway point of the schedule. And of course, you know, for men's and women's basketball, they're getting ready to get cranked up here in about 2 weeks with official preseason practice for the 2014-15 season. We've got some other things to talk about tonight, though, and that's going to be coming up in the second half of our show. We'll be talking with LMU head men's lacrosse coach Ryan Kuhn about some things they've got going on this weekend in terms of their unofficial fall season and what the cause is about in terms of that particular event and all the teams that are going to be involved. So that's coming up a little bit later on. We're going to recap the week in sports. That'll be coming up next. But before that, let's take this time out. We'll be back here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
The tri-state area's best-kept secret when it comes to piping hot fast food is World of Wings.
Wow!
Located in the LMU Campus Center, World of Wings has everything from starters such as mozzarella sticks, cheese fries, fried mushrooms, fried pickles, and a variety of salads. Try one of our quesadillas, an order of our tasty hot wings, mouth-watering chicken tenders, or one of a variety of wraps, burgers, or chicken sandwiches. Treat your taste buds to World of Wings.
Wow!
World of Wings, open daily and located in the Lincoln Memorial University Campus Center, Harrogate. Citizens Bank, we're different from everyone else. We've proudly served business communities of Northeast Tennessee since 1912 and have security you can count on. We offer the convenience of internet banking, excellent loan services on various types of loans, cash management, and small business banking at all of our convenient locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, New Tazewell, Bean Station, and Morristown. Visit our website to find out more at citizensbanktn.com. Citizens Bank, no more banking as usual.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
All right, welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Let's get started in the last week in athletics here at Lincoln Memorial. On Friday evening, Jenny Michael and the Lady Railsplitter volleyball team traveled east on I-40 to Hickory, North Carolina in an effort to rebound from last week's 3-2 home conference loss to Tusculum College that snapped a 6-match win streak and a 3-match conference stretch. The Bears, however, entered Friday evening's match having won both meetings a year ago, and this year's first meeting was no exception. Playing on their home floor, LRU was also looking to bounce back from back-to-back losses in their last 2 outings and dropped the Lady Railsplitters in straight sets 3-0 by taking 25-14, 25-15, and 25-18 wins to move to 9-3 on the season while sending the LMU women out of Hickory with a 7-6 overall record and a 3-2 conference mark. On Saturday, the Lady Railsplitters ventured west throughout the state into North Carolina over to Brevard and Brevard College in search of the fix for what had developed into a 2-match losing skid. The Tornadoes had also suffered defeat Friday evening at the hands of Carson-Newman University and were looking to rebound after the loss, but LMU's women quickly brought those hopes and that idea to a halt when they handed BC a 3-0 setback in 25-20, 25-19, and 25-21 decisions. The win puts Jenny Michael and her club at 8-6 overall and 4-2 in South Atlantic Conference play as they now prepare for what will most likely be their toughest conference opponent of the season Friday evening when they play host to Shelton Collier and the Bulldogs of Wingate University. Wingate enters the Mary E. Mars Gymnasium tomorrow evening atop the league standings at 6-0 in conference play while boasting an impressive once-beaten 13-1 mark and riding a 7-match win streak that dates back to September 13th when they won over Armstrong Atlantic State University. Tomorrow evening's match with Wingate gets underway at 7 o'clock on the LMU campus. And turning to soccer, on Saturday, the Lincoln Memorial University women's soccer team strengthened the argument that they could be the hottest team in the South Atlantic Conference right now by recording not only their 4th straight win, but their 3rd in sack play and their 2nd shutout in the past 3 matches. Saturday's win was over then undefeated conference opponent Lenoir-Rhyne University. The Bears entered the meeting with the Lady Railsplitters riding a 3-0 conference mark and the only team in the league at that time that was undefeated in sack play. Although the match was clearly a defensive struggle, Katie Soule scored the game-winning goal in the 34th minute on a direct free kick that got past the keeper and into the frame. After the match, we talked with Helio Dana about the victory, and he was extremely pleased with his team's performance and with capturing such a big win.
Yeah, and not one or credit, but about 7, 8, right? I mean, you got the 4th on the back, the ones that sub in. You got the defensive mid and you got the keeper, and these guys are buckling in. Everybody's buying into it because it really last year what made the difference was the commitment that everybody, not only defenders, had to play defense. So slowly we're getting to that point that you see an offensive mid coming back and you see even a forward coming back, and that's what it takes.
The LMU women have been idle since Saturday and won't take the field again until this Saturday's home matchup with the Tornadoes of Brevard College. Brevard will enter Harrogate with a 1-3 conference mark, while the Lady Railsplitters are in a 4-way tie for first place in this week's league standings, with a 3-1 South Atlantic Conference record entering the match. Saturday's match is set for a 1 p.m. start at the LMU Soccer Complex. Well, turning to men's soccer, the Railsplitters match Saturday with the Bears didn't go as well, as the men entered their only regular season meeting of the year with Lenoir-Rhyne, having lost their most recent match with Mars Hill 2-1 a week ago Wednesday, after suffering a 2-2 tie with unranked Newberry a week ago Saturday. From the opening touch of the first half, things didn't go the way the Railsplitters wanted. In just the 8th minute of play, the Bears' Leon Mueller-Wilson blasted a kick from 40 yards out over the outstretched body of Railsplitter keeper Marcel Barbanitz and into the upper right corner of the net to give LR a 1-0 advantage. Although the Bears had numerous shots throughout the remainder of the half, LMU dodged giving up a second goal for the remainder of the period and came away with new life and energy in the second half when it got underway. Only 14 minutes into the balance, LMU forward Pedro Villa headed in a pass from teammate Diego Velasquez to tie the match at 1-1, although LMU's offensive barrage continued throughout the remaining 21 minutes of regulation. The effort also spread the Railsplitters thin defensively, and in the 80th minute, following a failed LMU shot attempt, Lenoir-Rhyne pushed the ball the length of the field, and a fast possession run by Ben Jones, who made a pass from the right front of the frame, gave Ben Meredith, his teammate, a chip shot to give LMU a 2-1 go-ahead. LR a 2-1 go-ahead with 10 minutes to play in regulation. Despite numerous shot attempts in the final minutes, the then 20th-ranked Railsplitters were unable to score the equalizer, and the LR men captured the big upset by handing LMU its first home loss of the season. After the match, head coach Helio Dana talked about the loss. All right, we don't have that footage right now, but on Wednesday, the Railsplitters played host to non-conference regional opponent Lees-McRae College at the LMU Soccer Complex. The Bobcats entered Harrogate this year as one of the region's top-ranked teams with a 5-2-1 overall record. LMU and Lees-McRae started off much as the Railsplitters' past 2 matches have with Mars Hill and Lenoir-Rhyne, as the 2 teams battled through a defensive struggle until the 27th minute of the first half, when LMU defender Nathaniel Johnson committed a foul in the box by colliding with one of the Bobcat players. The miscue afforded Lees-McRae a penalty kick, and midfielder James Smith was able to tactfully place a shot past LMU keeper Marcel Barbanitz to give the Bobcats the go-ahead 1-0 lead. Although the 2 teams fought through the defensive stalemate the remainder of the first half and into the entire second half, with LMU taking the upper hand in aggressiveness and in shot opportunities, neither team could score a goal from the field, and Smith's goal on the penalty kick turned out to be the fatal blow to the Railsplitters, securing not only the victory for the Bobcats but also the shutout to hand the LMU men their 3rd consecutive loss, their 4th non-victory in as many outings. And after the match, Helio Dana was disappointed with his team's loss but praised his team's effort.
Yeah, before really we got scored on, we had, I believe, 4 opportunities to score. And our mindset is such right now, such a young team, that if we don't get a first goal, they really feel that, you know. And when we got scored on, you could tell that they felt the hit. And like you said, it took a while to assimilate, but when they did, they came all over them. I mean, we doubled their shots, we quadruple opportunities to score. What else can I ask for? You know, I mean, I've done this long enough. I know when young kids are trying their best, there's no reason to be all over them. I'm trying to keep them positive. We need to work on finishing.
Now 4-3-1 overall, 1-2-1 in South Atlantic Conference play. The Railsplitters return to league action this weekend when they play host to the Tornadoes of Brevard College. Saturday's ticket will be a twin bill with the LMU women, who will open the afternoon at 1 o'clock against Brevard. The Railsplitters and Tornadoes will meet at 3:30 at the LMU Soccer Complex. Well, turning to golf, in golf action from earlier in the week, both the Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's golf teams traveled over to nearby Greenville, Tennessee on Monday and Tuesday in a quest to capture the hardware at the annual Tusculum Fall Classic hosted by Tusculum College at Link Hills Country Club. The Lady Railsplitters were looking to build on their strong finish the week prior at the Etowah Valley Intercollegiate, while the Railsplitters entered Greenville with hopes of coming away with their 4th consecutive Tusculum Fall title. The LMU women did just what they set out to do earlier in the week when they traveled to Greenville and carded a 9-over-par 300 to finish as the tournament runner-up. As she did in Etowah, Lindsay Davis again led the way as she turned in an all-tournament team performance to lead the Lady Railsplitters to their 2nd place finish at the Tusculum Fall Classic. The Lincoln Memorial women's golf team returns to action this Monday when they travel to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina to co-host the Myrtle Beach Intercollegiate, which will be played at the Rees-Jones Golf Course at Sea Trail Golf Resort. Now, the Railsplitters also traveled to Greenville and achieved the goal that they set for themselves following last week's St. Leo Invitational in Florida. The LMU men rolled in a 4-under-par 280 Tuesday to cap off their 4th consecutive Tusculum Fall Classic title, completing the event with a 9-under-par total of 559 at Link Hills Country Club. The Railsplitters bested host Tusculum by 4 strokes to secure their 4th straight title, tying the previous tournament record for most championships set by the Pioneers from 2006 to 09. SAC foes Lenore Ryan and Mars Hill shared 3rd place distinctions with an even par 568, while Catawba finished 5th at 8 over par through 36 holes. Lincoln Memorial's B team fell to 6th place with rounds of 290 and 288, completing the event at 10 over par. The Railsplitters return to the links Monday, October the 6th, that's this Monday, when they too will play the role of co-host at Sea Trail Golf Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for the Myrtle Beach Intercollegiate. That's the past week in sports here at LMU. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll talk with LMU head lacrosse coach Ryan Kuhn. That's coming up next. Stay locked in to the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave.
Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Get your ass. You're not sitting here.
Yes, I am.
Move. Give it to him hard.
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why are you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. It's been a while, but LMU head men's lacrosse coach Ryan Kuhn joins us in studio again. And Coach, I know that right now, you know, we're in the month of October. When most of us think of the fall, we think of soccer, volleyball, we think of maybe some cross-country meets and so forth. But, you know, lacrosse, especially being a new sport, isn't something that necessarily comes to mind very often. Your official season is in the spring, but I know that we've got some events coming up this weekend that we're going to talk about with you shortly. You're in the midst of off-season practice right now, and I know that you guys have been hard at it on the field out there toward the past the LMU driving range.
Yes, sir. I mean, for us being the program that we are, at the stage we're in with being a first-year program, the fall is a vital time for us to kind of obviously get guys used to not only the academic rigors of being in college, but also get used to balancing that with college athletics. You know, for us, you know, we have 35 plus people involved in the program. We're trying to get them acclimated to our, kind of our terminology, our systems, everything like that. So this is a really valuable time for us to really, get a feel for the players, for them to get a feel for our coaching style, for them to kind of figure out how to balance everything, which has been going great so far. I mean, obviously, I don't think I'm unlike any other coach in the country right now. I think every coach thinks that everybody has a great shot at this time of the year, but I think we're pleased with the effort, and I think that from where we started to where we are now, we're a much different program, and that's in a good way.
Remind me, give me the memo on that next meeting, because I'm going to have to sit in on some of that acclimation stuff on the terminology and the systems and so forth. I'm still trying to figure out lacrosse for benefit of the university and our broadcast. But, Coach, I think it's funny, and you may or may not be aware of this. Somebody will approach me on campus and say, man, I've seen some really big guys walking around. You don't have football. They're not really tall enough to be basketball players. If they're baseball players, they're enormous. You narrow it down, it's the new lacrosse guys.
Yeah, we have a pretty eclectic bunch of guys. They definitely keep us on our toes in a good way. Personality-wise, they're a fantastic group of young men. But yes, we have guys from all over the world. I mean, we have 13 different states represented, 3 Canadian provinces, and we actually have one young man who came all the way over from England on our roster. So it's a pretty eclectic bunch of young men, and for us too, having Coach Linsmeyer in the weight room now, we've really used him as a major resource to kind of help bridge that gap, so that hopefully we can close that gap between us and some of the more established programs in the conference.
When you and I last talked, you were in the process of getting your guys in here and getting things started with them. Since you've had the opportunity to work with them out there on the field and get to know them all as individuals better, now that basically you're in charge of them while they're here on campus, what is it like for them coming from England, coming from Canada, coming from some of the northern states that are more conducive for lacrosse than we are down here at this point? What has it been like for them to adjust to maybe a mild or even an extreme culture shock of coming from up there to the south of the United States?
I think our guys have handled it in a great way. I think they've handled it with grace and dignity. And to be honest, I think they weren't intimidated by it. I think they welcomed it, because a lot of the northern guys, the Canadian guys, when they start practice, it's in the teens. For us, I think the biggest thing for us was our guys acclimating to the 90-degree weather when we started fall practice. I kind of made the joke the other day. This time, 10 years ago, when I was a freshman in college, they were handing out sweats because it was so cold, so we could kind of continue fall practice. And here, I'm still putting on sunblock and wearing shorts. So I think it's been a great experience for everybody involved in the program. And with that being said, I mean, our roster is so well spread out. We have a couple of local guys, but the reality is that the closest person on our roster is almost 4 hours away from home. So we're kind of all in this together, which kind of can bring the team together, and I think it has. Yeah,
that's definitely a task that most coaches have, especially when you're starting a new program, is you've got to find a way to build that team chemistry and bond that team together. And I agree with you, that may actually be something that does do that. In regard to the weather, though, lacrosse being a spring sport, I know that you could start, I guess, in February and March when you're practicing, maybe playing some of your games. But, one of the comments that I've heard, and, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's going to be freezing out there in February and March. We're not going to get a whole lot of games in. in reality, if you guys are going through that up north already, then you're already used to it. The only people we got to worry about are us.
My advice is to pack sweats. Go down to Hibbett in Middlesboro and maybe get some long sleeve Under Armour. But in all seriousness, no, it's a great experience. I'm hoping that we have a mild winter this year so that people can get out there and enjoy the games in February. I think we have a great schedule that, while it is challenging with some really great lacrosse teams that we're playing, it gives us an opportunity to have some success and follow the path that's been paved by the other great programs here.
Well, with me personally, I won't be doing the Under Armour. If you know me, then you know that I'm an avid hunter. So if you're at a lacrosse match or if you're watching a lacrosse match and the camera pans over underneath the press facility that will soon be out there, and you see a very large moving bush, you'll know that it's me sitting in my camouflage over there, and that they've not neglected their work in terms of weed eating or anything like that. So, all right, Coach. Now we don't have to wait until spring to get this started. Obviously, you've got some stuff going on this weekend. Several teams coming in to play here in unofficial fall season play. You've got several matches, they've got several matches, but it'll be kind of a jamboree, if you will. And with that, it's all in the for the benefit of a very good cause, and I want you to tell us about that if you can.
Well, this Saturday is a great opportunity for us to kind of showcase our institution, showcase the program, and really showcase our facilities. We actually have 6 other teams coming in, including us. That would be 7. Each team's going to be playing 3 games, so that there's 9 games total. And it's all benefiting St. Baldrick's Foundation, which their main goal is to cure childhood cancer. So the big thing about it is we wanted to do something that, while obviously it benefits our program and giving us an opportunity to kind of showcase it to everybody, it's for a much greater cause. And that's something that in the back of my mind when I was putting the schedule together, working through our non-traditional season, I wanted to do something like this, because it also, while lacrosse and everything is great, it gives 18-year-old young men a good sense of perspective that there are things that are more important than just lacrosse. There are other things out there, and while you might have a tough day in the classroom, you might have a tough day on the practice field, there are a lot of other people that have it tougher than you. So it gives guys a good sense of perspective, and also from a community aspect, it gives us all something to really rally around. And you tie that into the fact that men's and women's soccer are home that day, volleyball is home. I mean, it's a really great day if you're a Railsplitter fan. It's going to be a tremendous day and a tremendous kind of environment for people to be in.
You set a goal in terms of the funds. We've got a couple of minutes left in this segment that you would like to raise with this event for that fight against childhood cancer. I know that you're a little bit below that goal right now, but even if you were above it, I know you would be urging to get more contributions. So here's your opportunity here to make that pitch.
Well, the big thing about it is that our goal is $5,000. We're a little bit under that. We're at about $4,000 right now, but I think if we can kind of band together and make a last-second push, we can reach our goal. One of the good things, one of the neat things about St. Baldrick's is when we put on an event like this, we do have head shaving booths. So I did tell the team that if we do hit our goal, I will shave my head bald on Saturday. So that's a nice little added bonus to the event, which should be a great event. I mean, it's a great day to showcase a brand new sport into a new area. I know our parents, our fans are excited, and I hope it's something that the school, the community can really rally around.
Well, Coach, I would jump on that bandwagon with you, but unfortunately, I'd rather just make the contribution because I would look like Butterbean the boxer if I shaved my head. Listen, big time going on this weekend here down at the LMU lacrosse facility. So, folks, it's absolutely free to the public. Come on down, enjoy it, support our team, see what it's all about. If you're not familiar where the lacrosse facility is at this point, if you go down right beside the LMU golf driving range and make a left, you're just going to go down there. It's right between there and the Harrogate City Park. So come on out, support Coach Kuhn and his team this weekend in their endeavors in this fall season, off-season participation and help the cause out again. Again, that's St. Baldrick's.
Baldrick's.
I beg your pardon. And that's for the fight against childhood cancer. So help us out. Coach, I want to thank you for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to have you in here, and we're looking forward to getting to know lacrosse here at LMU.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
All right. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we'll close out the show. We've got some stuff to talk about in the upcoming week. Stay with us right here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Did you take your medicine? Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse.
You need a claim number?
Her personal assistant.
Let me just grab a...
Her housekeeper. Her cook. Her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Welcome back. Again, we want to thank Coach Kuhn for coming in here and joining us on this week's show. And again, they will be in action down there at the LMU Lacrosse Complex this weekend, and that'll be Saturday. Many teams coming in participation of that event, so do support them. Want to also tell you that the LMU lacrosse teams will be up in Louisville, Kentucky this weekend on the Greater Louisville Classic, and that's going to have a host of teams running, one of the biggest events, if not the biggest, the cross-country teams will run in, so best of luck to Jeremy Donahue and his men's and women's programs. The soccer team's in action Saturday. Again, that's against Brevard College at home here, 1 and 3:30 start. But a big week for the LMU volleyball teams. We've got Wingate tomorrow night. That'll be getting underway in the Mary E. Mars Gymnasium, I think 7 o'clock, something like that. And then on Saturday, they're going to return to the Mary E. Mars, and I believe Coker is the opponent. But coming up next week, the opponent that we all love to hate, and that's Carson Newman University. They'll be right there in the Mary E. Mars as well. Don't forget, next week we're going to be talking with Jack Bondrett, the new chairman of the LMU Athletes Hall of Fame, as a brand new class is going to be inducted on October 11th, and we'll talk about that class and those individuals in next week's show, and that'll be right here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report, so do stay with us. Don't forget to keep up to date on all that's going on with Lincoln Memorial University Athletics. Pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. That's all the time we have for this week, folks. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. For everybody behind the scenes, good night, everybody.